Hi, College and Career Success. This is week 3 of our semester. So hopefully you are getting more comfortable with getting in and maneuvering through the course. One thing I am seeing, I just wanted to remind you, is that in the first week for sure, many of you forgot to respond to 2 classmates in the forum. And so far in week 2 attendance purposes, I'm seeing posting but not a lot of responses yet. So remember, that's the other half of the assignment with the discussion post, is put your original for your points and attendance and then respond to at least 2 classmates in each forum. So don't forget to do that. So again, hopefully you're finding yourself more comfortable kind of navigating the course. So we are going to be in week 3. So I'm going to scroll down. And this is chapter 2, and it's going to go from the 14th through the 20th of September. So chapter 2, it talks about goal setting and how to successfully go meet your goals. And then also a lot of this you'll see in here has to do with our career services and career self-assessment. So this is our first chapter, our first pages, where I do not have the chapter scanned and uploaded because I was only able to do that up through chapter 1. So from this point moving forward, you will need access to that textbook. So I will go ahead and go through the slides as an intro to the chapter, and then I will encourage you to go and read the chapter or pay attention to particular sections as needed. Okay, so chapter 2, setting goals and a career path. So setting goals, there's lots of benefits of goal setting. So if you set a goal, it's going to, in theory, it should motivate you more to reach that goal, and therefore it's going to increase your academic achievement, and it's going to have an overall well-being and success totality when you set those goals and work toward them. But not just setting goals. The chapter talks about the ABCs, making sure that you're setting goals that are a little bit specific and aiming high. So the ABCs means to aim high, so challenge yourself, believe in yourself, make sure that you are giving yourself credit for what you need to do and how well you can do it. Care and commit, making sure that you're putting the time and energy into those goals, not just setting a goal at the beginning of the semester and then not trying and saying, oh, I didn't reach it, but making sure that you set time and energy aside, and then be specific and self-reflect. So saying, I want a good GPA is great, but that's not a very specific goal. So something like, I would like a 3.3 GPA, that's more specific, and then you can actually monitor and reflect on how you're doing toward meeting that goal. There was an interesting study our chapter talks about here that goes over, is there a downside to setting challenging goals? And this is a longitudinal study, so they started in 1979 with a little, like 12,600 some participants, and they followed them through 1992, and of all of those, only 4,892, these were academic goals, met their highest degree goal. So whatever goal they set, maybe they wanted to get a bachelor's, a master's, whatever the case is. So here's how it broke down. Of that bunch here, 43% fell short of their goal, 49% achieved, and 8% exceeded. Now what's interesting about this is that for those who did not meet the goal, so this chunk right here, maybe they said they wanted a bachelor's and they finished an associate, or maybe they didn't finish a degree at all, they fell short. It said there was actually no emotional cost, meaning that there wasn't any kind of negative long-term side effect. In fact, higher expectations were associated with lower levels of depression. So the students who were actively working toward the goal, even if they didn't meet it, ultimately helped their overall well-being because they had a goal that they were working toward. So again, making sure that you're challenging yourself, you're aiming high for the ABCs. And then again, believing in yourself, and then knowing, okay, you might struggle in some areas, but still have that self-confidence and maybe seek resources as needed to help. Care and commit, so make sure that you're motivated, find rewards, find a system, whatever works for you to keep yourself motivated. And then again, specify and self-reflect. So be specific and monitor your progress. So if you set a GPA goal, a couple weeks into the semester, reflect. How's it going? What's working? What's not working? What do I need to change? And then constantly be reflecting on that. From there, it goes into our section on career exploration and decision making. And so there's going to be a lot of talk about like how our identity and personalities and things like that go into our career decisions. But this is one I want to talk about for a couple minutes, and then it's going to go into some career theories. So in our textbook, they talk about who influences our career decision, and a biggest one is our parents, which makes sense. A lot of people will say, oh, my mom was a nurse, so that's why I'm interested in healthcare, or my dad was in IT. So sometimes our parents have that big influence, followed by friends, and you can see kind of the impact the other, significant others and teachers, but our parents really do have that big impact on our career decisions. And there are 3 basic career theories that go along with why we choose the careers we do. The first one is social cognitive, meaning others encourage us. So going back to this, other people encourage us to go into a particular field. Maybe they suggest the paths we go into, or maybe we just watch them. And so by watching them, we get interested in a career. And then how we feel about our abilities. So that's that social cognitive. How we feel about our ability to go into a career will impact our decision. The next one is happenstance. Sometimes it just happens. So they're a result of planned and unplanned events. So maybe you talk to other people, you participate in a club, you go along with someone else, and you see what they do, and it just kind of happens. So it's like informal, that just kind of occurs as you result into that theory. Or that's what that theory says. It just kind of happens. Along with that, there's a lot of Holland, if you've ever heard of this, Holland in person, and making sure that your background fits. This is the last theory here, the personality, the person environment fit. So making sure that you are lining up, so to speak, if you are one of these, if you're more social, making sure that you're going into a field that kind of supports that. If you're not social, going into a field like nursing or teaching probably is not for you, since you're often working with other people quite frequently. So knowing your personality and then fitting it with the environment is another theory there. Part of career decision making is sometimes career indecision. It says up to 65 to 70% of students are not sure what major to choose. Not only that, they often change their major. So what is the purpose? Why does that happen? Well, sometimes we're just not ready. Maybe a student goes right from high school to college because that's what is expected of them, maybe in their family, or that's what they think you're supposed to do, but they're really not ready to make that big career decision. Maybe they don't have enough information, so they chose a college that was close by, but they didn't have enough information. Maybe their degree isn't even available there, or their degree will require 4 years, and they weren't prepared for that, or inconsistent information. You're just not getting consistent information. So there's lots of reasons for that. Career decision making difficulties, those are sometimes the top 3. Something else you want to do, whether you've already chosen your career or you're still thinking about it, is just take a self-assessment. What are your values? What are the things that you think are important? Is it leadership? Is it working with others? Is it your job security? And making sure that the career you choose kind of fits those, because if you have a mismatch of your values and what your career you're in and they don't align, that's going to lead to career dissatisfaction. And so again, this goes back to like self-assessment, knowing your personality, knowing how you are intelligent, which ways you're intelligent. And one of the assignments this week will kind of go over some of this as well. And then also knowing your soft skills. These are sometimes called your transferable skills, non-technical skills, or your soft skills. So you go to college to get a degree, and that gives you your technical skills, but employers value these just as much, if not more sometimes, because you need to have that responsibility, that professionalism, that work ethic, communication. And so if you know that you lack in one of these, maybe seeking out a workshop or looking for opportunities that can help kind of brush those up. Because yes, to get a job, you need to have those technical skills, but to keep a job and to kind of rise up through the ranks, so to speak, you need these soft skills as well. And that goes through another like personality. There's so many of these online. So if you've never taken like a personality or an intelligence test, I would recommend, looking at the suggestions our textbook gives. And then the last couple slides talks about how you can investigate your particular career a little bit more in depth. So the first one, they give this career websites, and I'm actually going to pull up Occupational Outlook Handbook real quick. Even if you don't spell it right, it'll still take you there. Okay, so this is what this looks like. And so you could go up here and you can just do like a quick search. So let's say I want to go into physical therapy. and then you click the one that matches most closely, and then it takes you through like a nice little summary. And some of this you may know, and some of it may be new to you. And they give like this job outlooks for the next 10 years. So that's a really nice resource. And that's what part of our chapter talks about. And there's another list of places over here. And I'm going to show you another one as part of our assignment this week. So that's one way you can kind of explore, is looking at different career websites. And then also learning about your career through informational interviews. So talking to someone in the field, even shadowing them and seeing what it is like for a day in the life of, you know, an IT or a teacher. And then asking them questions about that particular field. So that's chapter 2. So again, I encourage you to actually go in and read the chapter, pay attention to those particular pieces that you might need to brush up on or you're interested in. Now, for your assignments, you can see there's quite a bit this week. So week 3 has several things to work on. So you do have a discussion post. So your discussion post, which I'll click on in a few minutes, is going to be due by Wednesday the 16th at 11:55. And then make sure you respond to classmates and complete all these other assignments by Sunday. And you'll see this one, I even noted how many points it's worth. Please make sure you complete that because it's a big point value assignment. All right, let's get into the assignment folder. Here's your discussion. So after you've read the chapter, summarize your interests, values, personality, and abilities as they relate to careers. So really summarizing all those things would take quite a bit of time. So just kind of real quickly tell us, you know, I value career security and salary, and I have a very outgoing personality I'm good at. So just kind of just recap some of these things and how they relate to the career you've chosen or the career you think you're going into. And then how could you explore more ways to develop those? You know, could you take workshops? Could you take a class? Could you shadow someone? Can you talk to someone in your field? Can you talk to your parents, a counselor? So how could you explore or develop your interests, your values, your abilities, or find out more about your career in general? So that's the original post. You'll click into chapter 2, you'll create your thread, and make sure that you put your post by Wednesday for week 3 attendance, and then respond to 2 classmates by Sunday, right in there. The next one is the chapter 2 assignment, the 10 and 25 year from now you. So when you open it, it'll come up in this. And it's basically just a real quick table. 10 years from now, you run into a teacher, whether it's a professor here, if you're a CCP student, whatever the case might be. What are your educational accomplishments 10 years from now? Your relationship, financial, living environment, and anything else you can think of that's maybe appropriate to bring up. And then the same thing for 25 years. So really, just about a sentence for each. A sentence for each will be okay. And you can save it, click in there, browse your computer, and upload it right there. So that's that assignment, the 10 to 25 year from now you. The next one here is your chapter 2 quiz. So just like your chapter 1 quiz, that'll open up and you'll see there are 10 questions here. And some of it we already talked about a little bit. You know, why are short-term goals valuable? Why should you set effective goals? What are some sub-goals for Lori? So make sure you read all the questions. Most of these are pretty straightforward, but you'll see again, like this has a little setup here. This has two questions in one. So refer back to the PowerPoint, refer back to the chapter, whatever you need. And then again, because we're online, I do make sure I stick to that 2 to 5 sentences per response. So make sure you're responding in 2 to 5 complete sentences. And then you'll save that and upload it into that chapter 2 quiz spot. Okay, moving right along, our next assignment, your next college resource reflection is on career services, since chapter 2 talks about career decision making. So you'll click on this link here and you'll see it'll say, hey, wait, you sure you want to go? Yep, go ahead and click on it again. And this takes you to the career services webpage, which you're going to be using one of the resources here for our next assignment. But I'm gonna encourage you to kind of click around and look and see, you know, what are some events coming up. You'll notice most of them are Zoom. Look at the information on who is in the office. And then over here is a bunch of resources. So let's say you need to practice for an interview. So this is going to tell you about how you can do that through this office. Maybe you need help with your resume. So again, just kind of click around. Some of the links you'll see have little videos. Some of them just have more links to resources. But click around and see what kind of information you are gaining from here. Because if you're at the very beginning of your career, it's still not too early to look at how to get your resume set up, even if this is your first semester, even if you're still in high school, how to get your resume ready, because the nice thing about resumes is you can add to it as you go, so that, you know, a year from now, you're not like, oh man, what did I do in September of 2020? Like, you're adding as you go. Or some of you, if you're closer to the end of your time here and you are getting ready to get into a field, you can talk about internships, you can go into the interview practice, graduation, all of that. So I encourage you to click around. And then, just like the last one on the digital library, after you've clicked around and looked at the tools, and you can also reflect on this assignment here as part of this, which I'll get to next, you'll write a 1-paragraph, 5 to 8 sentences, reflection on how you can use their office. So again, maybe you're very early in your time here, but maybe you're undecided, so you can use them to help you decide on what career you want to get into. Maybe you're closer to graduation, so you can use them to help you as you start your job search. So how you could use them, it's not a summary, because I'm very familiar with their office. It is how you could use them, how you could personally benefit from them. All right, last assignment, and this is the 30-point assignment. You'll click in. There are two parts, and this kind of walks you, there's a video that walks you through, but essentially what you're doing is you're taking a self-assessment. This is one of the Career Services resources. So you'll click there. I am going to recommend that you sign up. Just in case you X out, you can log back in and get your results, but you can take it as a guest. So if you sign up, keep with your normal Stark State username and password just to keep it all consistent. But you're going to go to take the assessment. You're going to do the 60 questions. I know we're like, 60 questions, but it really goes very quickly. So you're going to click on 60 questions. And then these are the questions. You would like to do what? So you just go through and answer how you might. Please make sure you read them and not just, click. I'm actually going to go ahead and just take the 6-question one very quickly so that you can see what the results look like. Maybe, I was hoping it would click right in there. Let me do it real quick. Okay, I'm going to take the 6-question one. You are taking the 60, but I just want you to see what the results look like. Okay, so when I get my results, it's going to tell me my top 3 traits. Remember, we talked about in the PowerPoint kind of what are your traits, and then it's going to give me some career matches. And I would just encourage you to look through and see. Once you click in there, it goes even into more depth. And then you can click on like a match, and then it gives you all the list of all the different matches. So once you click in there, then it's going to give you specific to that career. You can learn more about it, how much you can make, who is currently hiring. So all of that is really nice to have. What you're going to turn into me, so I know you took it, is where it's going to say download full results. You've got to download. It downloaded into a PDF for me. So I'm going to download it again, and I'm going to save it. So now I have it saved. And down at the bottom, there's a Dropbox. I'm going to drop it in there. Okay, so that's where I would take it and I would submit it. Now the second part, so you've taken your survey, all 60 questions, you've got your results and you've uploaded them. The second part is this video right here. It's a 21-minute video. It's by Lena from Career Services. You're going to watch this because it's going to walk you through Career Services. It's going to walk you through that assessment you took and some resources and how to connect that to your field. When you are done and you've watched the video all the way through with sound, I will be able to check it in Blackboard. I'll be able to look and see, oh, this person got it done, and I put a little check and I know that you did it. So the career assessment itself is 20 points. Watching the video all the way through is 10 points. So that's how you get all 30 points. So the only thing you'll submit is the assessment results, and then I can track to see who's watched the video. So that's that Career Services assignment folder. So if you wanted to wait for this reflection to take that survey, you can talk about your results in your reflection as well. Like, oh, I took this assessment, it was really helpful, or, it didn't match at all. When you can kind of use any of that in your reflection. Okay, so week 3, chapter 2, you are doing 10 to 25 year from now, your career self-assessment discussion and respond to 2 classmates, college resource reflection on career services, chapter 2 quiz, and the 2-part career services assignment, the career self-assessment, and then watching the video. All of those are due by Sunday the 20th. Make sure that you post your original response for week 3 attendance by Wednesday the 16th. Please email me, Blackboard message me, call my extension, whatever you need, reach out if you need anything. Hope you all have a great week.